I'm Aiden.
And I'm Shiva.
And we did a project on Thor Heyerdahl.
Yeah.
They say Thor is the Indiana Jones of Polynesia.
And don't get confused with this Thor.
Do you think Thor Would you take a dangerous expedition with only a few of your closest friends? Raise your hand. Wow, we've got some explorers here. Okay. How about 5 expeditions? You guys are pretty big. 6? 7?
Well, Thor Heyerdahl did more than 7 dangerous expeditions with only his closest friends as his crew members.
Do you know who Thor Heyerdahl is?
I do, and now we're going to show you an overview of a website that we created about Thor Heyerdahl. So here's the homepage, and I'm going to start off with saying a quote that he said. It's kind of confusing. Borders, I have never seen one, but I've heard they exist in the minds of some people. It doesn't make sense, but it means that he thinks that there aren't borders, though there are. He views the world as one. And so then this project is going to define how Thor Heyerdahl has pushed the boundaries and limits of exploration and global problem solving. And we hope you enjoy the journey of our work.
This is our biography page where you can know a lot about Thor Heyerdahl, his childhood, and some things that might help. This is our childhood and inspiration page. This is our childhood and inspiration page where you can learn about the influence and childhood of Thor Heyerdahl.
Well, now the expeditions of Thor Heyerdahl. Thor Heyerdahl was among a group of scientists called diffusionists. Diffusionists think that people originated in one place and then migrated to other places. Like in his first major expedition, the Kon-Tiki expedition, that reflected his theory of being a diffusionist. And so, because he went from, Asians have been said to have come to Polynesia, but he also believes that Peruvians could have come to Polynesia, and so that's what he tested. He went on a 101-day journey on a balsa wood log raft because he thought that would be what the ancients used if they came from Peru to Polynesia, and so that is what that expedition was about. His first stay in Polynesia was at the islands of Fatu Hiva and Pauamau. And so he had an important moment there because he saw a tiki, which was a stone statue bigger than a man or woman. And so he didn't think it looked like the locals, so he was wondering if other people could have migrated there before the Polynesians. So that was his theory. And so all of his expeditions are connected by this one big theory of cultural migration, because all of them he's traveling because he's seeing if people from this place could get to this place and settle at that place. And so he had an expedition process, like deciding his expeditions and his theories, each expedition he took. The first step he did was hear mythology of region or place and apply diffusion theory to develop a specific hypothesis. Then do further cultural research on region or people to get ideas of ancient technology, boat building, and environment during that time from books, artifacts, and ancient drawings or pictures. No, step 3. He noted current environmental conditions, weather, ocean currents, and winds. Number 4. He speaks to modern day people who know and still use ancient techniques. Number 5, he tries to repeat exactly what could have happened. Number 6, sometimes on the expedition he collected data and became a big ocean supporter and got involved in a movement for peace and world problem solving because of the conflicts he saw on his expeditions. So now is the True Explorer stage.
Yeah, this is the True Explorer stage where it will define how Thor Heyerdahl is a true explorer.
So next is this one.
These are Thor's multiple intelligences and the ways he's smart. Oh yeah, and some attitudes and attributes that he qualifies for.
Then his legacy. So Thor Heyerdahl didn't die spiritually because he still lives on in museums, institutions, schools, students, and articles, and even his grandson in 2006 did an expedition that reenacted the Kon-Tiki expedition, and his name was Olaf Heyerdahl. He reenacted that. Then there's also, he had many awards and distinctions. These are his honorary academic degrees he got, and then from universities, and then these are national decorations from Norway. So there's also educational legacy, like there's been things happening in schools, like school in Idaho. They created Shoshone boats, reed boats, but the teachers remembered and thought they were like the ones used for his Raw expedition and Kon-Tiki, and not Raw expedition and Tiger's expedition. And there's also Thor Heyerdahl School in Larvik, Norway, that was inaugurated in 2009. And there's also an institute that supports his studies and ideas, which is it was a huge, it gave us lots of information. This institute, it's in Larvik, Norway, and was started in 2000, and it's supported by the local government. And then there's a Kon-Tiki museum. It's not just about his Kon-Tiki expedition, but it's about all his expeditions, his life, his impact, his legacy. It basically shows the whole Thor Heyerdahl. And then there's also, he wrote many books and articles and publications. And so he wrote for National Geographic articles. And then what I liked is that he's really reflective after each expedition. He wrote a book about the expedition and his theories and findings. And then there's also a link to a publication that gives all that he published. And then there's obituaries. An obituary is usually an article that reflects on a person, their impact, their life, what they did, and their legacy. So there's 3, which it basically reflected on what he did in the world, how he changed it. And there's 3 well-known ones that I linked to: the New York Times, the London Telegraph, and the National Geographic Society all wrote down. And also another quality from smarts, I would say, this isn't an attribute or Gardner's intelligences or attitude, but I really like that he was so persistent, because many of his theories have been knocked down and overturned, but he kept going and kept doing expeditions based on the same theories, but just a little bit different place, time. So, Norwegians speak out. So this sounds like Norwegians are protesting about him, but it was just an interview I did with a Monterey Institute student and her brother who are Norwegians, and they gave their views of Thor Heyerdahl, and they gave Norway's views of Thor Heyerdahl. And Norway thinks of him as a hero, though they have controversial issues with him. At the end, they still think of him as a hero. And so, this is our bibliography. This is all the sources we used. Their websites, interviews, and books, articles, and then it's really short. So.
Yeah, this is just a little bit about it. Okay. We'll let you explore in a bit, but I think
we'll let you explore in a bit, but now go explore our site and have fun. So now the